Okay, the purpose of the mastermind is to learn leadership, build teams, and create multiple sources of income together. Lisa?
Yeah, let's try unmuting, hey? We are here to inspire and challenge each other to reach and exceed goals, like being heard.
Each member is committed to their own success, as well as the success of every member of the group.
We are committed to meeting in person or virtually for 1 hour every week.
Sorry, I was muted. We are present. There is no multitasking or distractions during meetings.
We are collaborative. We listen without interrupting, lecturing, or judging.
We celebrate each other's successes without jealousy.
Ricky, you can go next if you're available.
Yeah, right, we are.
Number 8, buddy.
8.
We are honest and participate by giving thoughtful feedback.
Anjay. Anjay. Is she still with us? You muted.
Oh, sorry, try the unmuting. What a challenge. Okay, talking to myself here. Must be the devil whispering in my ear. Okay, we are open and listen to different perspectives without being defensive or offering excuses.
We trust fellow members enough to share fully.
I think Fiona dropped out. I'll go next. We are focused, but we also think it's important to have fun during meetings.
We are real and authentic. This is a no BS zone.
We allow ourselves to become completely aligned with each other and the high forces. One mind, one soul, one love.
Worked out perfectly, that, Kirsty, didn't it? Because I know you like that one with Fiona dropping out.
Noble Goldman, Noble Goldman International is a conscious, aware, and engaged global community of abundance and freedom creators.
Ricky?
Yep, our mission is to create 1 million millionaires who are free from the time for money paradigm. I'll minimize that. We focus on creating multiple streams of income through masterminding, team building, and the effective utilization of the internet-based platforms.
The mastermind becomes an opportunity for self-mastery, where the self-transcendence shift from the me to the we to the us occurs. As congruence and engagement increases, the world consciousness is then, okay, and now I can't see this, there we go, raised one meaningful and inspired relationship, I suppose, at a time. Okay, sorry, it's right in the bottom of my screen. So.
Wonderful. Great. Good to have you back, Fiona, as well. And I have to say, Ricky, that there was a moment where the devil was taking over me and debating whether I should let you in, because I thought it was just going to be Martin Ball and an audience with all the ladies. So I had to let you in.
We couldn't have that, Martin. Don't want you ravaged by them all.
With your good looks and your sexy accent, you know what I mean? Bit of a threat to me.
Oh, what?
So yeah, thanks for going through that. And whilst we're sharing a bit more Ricky love from the Gold Star call that we had this morning on the leadership, congratulations to Ricky on achieving executive in CFX. So well done, mate. I know you've put a lot of hard work in there, so
Thank you.
Truly rewarded well.
Thanks,
now, we were originally, we're going to move chapter 6 on to next week to break down. A few of the people yesterday, including myself, didn't get around to it. However, we had a great call for those of you who've watched the replay. And Lisa and I have had a chat around a few things, and especially with the where Noble Goldman's going and growing, excuse me, the recording from the other event just came up. It would be good to get some masterminding as a group, especially because each of us, I feel, are totally aligned with coming from a network marketing side or a coaching side. So we're really coming from a strong call here right now. Naturally, anybody else in the community that watches the replay of this will be able to share their thoughts in as well. And what I'll do first of all, because I had a conversation with Mark Santos yesterday, and we covered quite a lot in regards to, we made some updates to the current, well, the new site that he created, but we also went through the landing pages that he had made, and I gave him some feedback on them, and me being me, I went away and created something better. No, not disrespect, but better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what's been created to get your feedback on it, because Mark has basically said he is going to make these next week and release them all for everybody as soon as he can, once he's got all the coded done. So he's going to give it to me as a trial run, because I've got it made, but it's not linked to Noble Goldman at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen for you guys so you can see what's been created. And then we'll get into more around the topic that Lisa was discussing as well with me. So give me a thumbs up if you can see that, because I can't see you guys. Yep. Okay, cool. And obviously I'm on the call as well, so I can see you guys now. So this is the landing page that we created, and we did our best to keep it as close to the current one as possible, so it was an easy transition for Mark. So as you can see, as soon as you land, there's going to be your own video, or you can have whatever one's available. Mark, from my understanding, is going to feature my introduction video as a standard video. And you can choose to put in your own as well. So here it's got my little introduction. Instantly, someone can click there, and that will scroll down to the bottom of the page at this moment for them to go and put their details in. Otherwise, they can go through and they can read what Noble Goldman's about. Now, a lot of this is still focused on the current site, but we went through and we changed a lot of the spelling mistakes. And we went through and I worked with Nancy in the community, and we changed the wording as well with quite a bit of it, so it flows better. Then we brought in testimonials. So this is where the power of your testimonials come in, because this creates the connection now. So we broke each section up with a testimonial to create that obviously connection. We go into then how we serve our members. So a lot of this is the same as what's on the standard site, currently standard homepage. So I'm not going to read through each of them, but what you'll notice is each one, there's a button to get them to take action. Every single one, how we serve our members, bang, I like the sound of that button. Testimonial. So it's constantly, this is a sales funnel. This is not, let me just stroke your hair and let's talk about how nice the weather is. This is about, let's get you in to experience the value. Aligned teams create success. Once again, take action. How we help you to create wealth. A few other things we've changed around in titles and stuff that just felt more aligned to where we're at. And what we did as well with regards to the testimonials, we aim to break them up and put different industries, so to speak, in there. So a coach, a network marketer. So it came across as a balance rather than just all about network marketing, which is what some people had said it feels like when they've come in. Do you have an unfulfilled desire? So as you can see, a lot of the images are all around connection, freedom, life experiences, where people will connect with those images rather than ones that are more so cold. So once again, isn't a get rich quick scheme. We got Paddy in here as well. It may seem like a lot, but this is the opportunity to sell the value, but also at any point they can open their account. And then down here would be the opt-in where they would create their free account. So exactly the same as when they go to register in Noble Goldman now, that's what will be here. But because it's not linked to Noble Goldman, I don't have access to put that here right now. So what we did was, this then was the angle of, let's get their details. And now once they put their details in, they go to page 2. Now this would say, page 2 in the new funnel will be, congratulations on opening your free Noble Goldman account. While you're here, let's turn your Noble Goldman membership into an asset. Now we start selling them up to the Gold Star straight away. So as they read through this, the next thing we do is to receive a quick overview, of the value you receive and the support your desired success. Click on the category that best suits you. So if you click on I am a coach, it pops up with my video to coaches. Okay, they can watch that, it's a couple of minutes, then they can choose to upgrade straight away to Gold Star. If they don't, or if they just want to stay a free member, they can click there. If they're a network marketer or they just want to do more personal development, the video is all around them leveraging Noble Goldman for personal development. So bearing in mind that this is built for my target audience, not for everybody's, for mine. This is my funnel that I built. So I gave it to Mark and said, you do what you want with it, but this is what I want. Because I know that these people are my audience. So anybody who just wants money, come and find out how you can create multiple streams of income with Noble Goldman. Somebody who's a network marketer, come and find out how Noble Goldman will serve you as in building your team and so on. Once again, testimonials. Then what I did was I separated the value of an overview of the Gold Star membership into what I call ECC, Education, Connection, Commission. And we broke it into 3 for each: the success program, leadership training, personal development levels, connection, come onto a mastermind, the lead generation strategy through the mastermind groups, and team management software, which is obviously that element to connect and stay in contact. Commission, your affiliate link, the pay it forward system, the ability to earn from MSIs. So that's how we've marked it. We're marking it to them on the Gold Star upgrade. And then we got Gigi there sharing her testimonial. Leverage Noble Goldman. And then this is where it says just $200. Bang, I want to join as a Gold Star. It will bring up the membership. Now then, what we did was then we went through the testimonials of each of you. Why others upgraded to Gold Star. This is once again selling the value, testimonial experiences. You can all see your lovely faces on here. We did our best to get, don't you be shy, Cheryl. We did our best. I mean, I am the ultimate troll for going through all your Facebook profiles, finding good images if it wasn't sent to me. So yeah, went through finding, getting a load of images, sharing this. This is obviously just creating that value of let's join, let's join, let's join. Lovely one there of you, Fiona, with your flowers. And yeah, it's just all value is what we feel. So here would actually be put your credit card details in to upgrade to Gold Star. And they haven't even got into Noble Goldman at this point. We've sold them into to just becoming a Gold Star straight away. And then page 3 would be they would actually enter. This page isn't going to exist. So I wanted to share that with you so that you could see what's coming from a point of the new funnel rather than what we've currently got. It may seem like a lot, but the point being is that if we can get people to jump into as a Gold Star, we're flying. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to upsell people to a Gold Star member unless it's down to our language. So I'll be running adverts that will be going straight for people to join as a $200 membership, which to be fair is the cheapest personal development program I know of for a whole year when you weigh it up. So that's the value from the funnels. I don't know if any of you want to just share anything or anything like that about that. If there's any feedback on any of that, you think that can be improved before we put it forward for Mark to build?
I love the categories.
The what, sorry?
I love the categories, the 4 categories, how it's given each option to choose kind of what they're looking for, obviously, and get just the information on that if that's the case. Obviously, people could then choose multiple ones as well and look at it. But I think from my perspective, obviously, initially, I was just looking at it on a personal development level. So if I'm kind of selling that to the people I'm connecting with, then yeah, that's great having that there.
Yeah, great share, Cheryl.
I love the fact that it covers all bases. and we talked about this before, didn't we, Martin, that, you know, it's looking at where people are at and what they're looking for. Because one of the problems I've had with NG is like, where do I start? You know, what do I put as the priority? Because there's so many amazing things. And I know that Martin and I don't know about the rest of you, but we're not doing what we thought we were going to do when we joined it. We came in with an intention to do something. Mine was masterminding, because it's the last lesson on Think and Grow Rich from Bob Proctor's. So that was the perfect, obvious solution for me. And I'm not doing that at all. I mean, I will be, but it's not where I've gone in a different direction. So I love that this opens up the opportunities for everybody. So it says, we're not a one size fits all, even though we are. It's that this is, you know, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. And as Cheryl just said, you know, people, once they get into the site, they've got access to it all. But it's just what brings them in. And Apple do this very well. They sell one computer, but they have 3 completely different separate ad funnels for it. One for students, one for home, and one for business. Same product, just different ways of coming in. And that's what I love. What we've done here is Martin's created this ability to hone it into certain people, for them to say, yeah, this is for me, and that's where I want to go. So I just love the feel of it, Martin. I think you've done an amazing job, and I love the feeling that you get in and there's choices. Yeah, you can look straight away and say, oh, which one of these suits me best? And I think that has huge value. I really do.
Yeah, and thanks for the feedback from both of you at this point. And the one thing that I said to Mark, based on what we've created there with the 4 categories in particular, and I'm not saying that there are only 4 categories, but because it's my funnel that I created, they're the 4 that I went with, is that in this section here, that will have coaches, network marketers, and that way they'll be able to click on that, and that's the content that they will get speaking to them in their field. So the angle that I said to Mark that I'd like to see is that if they click on the network marketing one and choose to upgrade that way, it automatically changes the back office for a network marketer. So it's speaking their language. They can choose to change it, but straight away it's speaking to them as a network marketer, which I feel would work really well. So I just wanted to, I don't know if there's anyone else who wants to share anything, but I definitely just wanted to touch on that in regards to showing you more value that's coming. The other thing is that Lisa and I had a conversation around improving the 90-day success program, based on what Lisa's experience is with regards to running, in particular, Bob Proctor's courses and so on. So Lisa, I know you asked if we could do some masterminding around a few things. So do you want to share a bit more in regards to setting the foundation so we can share the value of what we know?
Yeah, sure. So what I said I came in to do masterminding and got a different idea. What I see is that the building the habits of success underpins everything else, and we know that. But when you come into the site, there's this and there's this and there's this and there's this. So what I've done, and we're just having a look at it at the moment, is I've taken the 90-day program, which I think is amazing. But what I've done is we're looking at creating as a standalone product for just the first part. So I don't know if you've had a look at the flight log, but gratitude, visualization, affirmation, maybe positive prime, I'm still playing with that, meditation, healthy diet, study, exercise, and sleep. Because the second bit is all about building Noble Goldman. And when people come in, that might not be what they want to do. So they will sign up as a gold star, whether it's $60 or $200, but we are selling them a 90-day program for $60. So I just see this as another way of bringing people in, because most people want to know what the habits of success are and how to do that. So I've edited the 90-day challenge, and funny enough, I was on a call the other day with Mark, and Lloyd said he offered, sorry, not, was it Lloyd? It was Lloyd, wasn't it? Yeah, Lloyd offered to rewrite the 90-day challenge. So I messaged him and said, I've already done it. Let's talk, because obviously we don't want to overlap. But what he's looking at doing is advancing it. And we talked about this with Martin, that if they're going to pay the 200, then we have to have something for them for that year, because they're buying a year's program as opposed to a 90-day program. And I was looking at this being the introduction. Yes, we did. This being the introduction. And then when they've done that, if they're ready to start building a business, then they can go on to the full 90-day challenge. Now, that's where Lloyd, he is rewriting that. And it may be that once he's done his, he's looking at mine at the moment. He says he'll get back to me by tomorrow. But he's looking at that again as a standalone program, but he's looking at maybe $300, and that includes obviously access to Gold Star. Now, my thinking behind this is that without these habits of success, that's why the abundance game is in first. Without these, doesn't matter what our goals are, we're not going to achieve them. Doesn't matter whether we come in as a network marketer, as a coach, or whatever. Without those habits, we're not going to achieve them. So this is like the core to me of Noble Goldman, is these habits of success. So it's about finding a way to bring it in, and just, it's a 90-day program. I see this as really accessible for anybody who wants to get in. Once they're in, we've got 90 days to build that relationship, to show them what else is in NG, and just work with that. So I don't know who's actually done the 90-day challenge.
I started it, but it was too much over my head when I first got in. It was too early for me.
Yeah. So I think, Cheryl, the first bit, if anybody's had a look at it, the first bit is just literally what we put into the abundance game.
Yeah.
So it's gratitude, visualization, affirmation, meditation, healthy diet, because that's obvious, exercise. And we've put it, so what we've done is we've cut down the time on all of these, because initially, like you say, it's too much. When people come in, especially if they're new to personal development, putting all this time in.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
Carol?
the thing, because obviously it's all new to me, apart from the exercise and healthy diet, I was doing that anyway, but trying to get my head around starting to do affirmations, starting to do meditation, and then thinking, oh, but I also need to be doing the connecting and all that. I'm like, this is just too much. Like,
well, that's wonderful to hear you say that, because this is to get you to get those habits. So once you've done it, it's very easy. If you're spending 5 minutes a day or 2 minutes, we're in discussion on how long to do, but I've brought it down to 5 minutes of gratitude in the morning, 5 minutes of visualization, and we can drop that down to 2 minutes, because that's what it is in the abundance game. This is about creating the habits. It's not about how long you do each one for, because what I've discovered, and I'm sure you're the same, is that when I've got a habit, I naturally expand the time doing things. You know, I started off, I created snooze button stretches for my clients years ago, and I used to spend 5 minutes, that's your snooze button. I can easily spend up to 40 minutes a day doing those stretches now. Same stretches, but holding the stretch longer. Now, if I set out to do 40 minutes, I'm not going to do it. It's what I learned with meditation. If anybody's ever read Search Inside Yourself by Chadi Tang, who's a Google software engineer. He's their their fun officer, a happy officer, something or other. And he says 5 minutes a day is all it takes, because it's the routine of doing it. I spent over 20 years trying to learn to meditate. I went to China. We did 2 hours twice a day. Did I learn to meditate? No. I learned to meditate within a month of doing 5 minutes a day. So it's those habits. So what I see is that this is that introduction. So for you, Cheryl, rather than thinking, oh, I can't do this, all you're going to do is what's already in the abundance game.
Yeah.
Obviously, keeping aware of your diet and sleep and that kind of thing. So the idea is to keep this in under an hour, and obviously not all at the same time. So you can do, we recommend first thing in the morning, and maybe last thing at night. But the rest of it doesn't matter when you do it. Whereas when you say, I looked at this other one and I haven't started it. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God. To me, this is the network marketing bit.
Mm-hmm.
How many people did you Lord? How many people, how much content have I put out? All that sort of stuff. Now that's fine once I've got these other habits in place. And for those who are already there, that's fine. The network marketers, they're not going to want us to do the intro. They're going to bang straight in. However, they might want to put their team onto the intro to build those habits. Because when people come into network marketing, often they've never done anything like it before. So again, it's these habits, it's teaching them how to build habits. So that's the idea of it. I see this as a marketing opportunity. I will market this as build the habits of success in 90 days for $60 or $200, whatever we decide. Yeah, so I see this as my way of bringing people into Noble Goldman, and once they're in, then it's up to them to decide where they want to go, and it's up to us to, as Noble Goldman members, to show them what's available and encourage them and entice them, if you like, to explore more. So I don't know. I'd love your thoughts or your feedback. Stunned silence.
Sounds good to me, Lisa.
I like the options, definitely.
And I think there are actually more options, and I love that Lloyd's coming on because he's already thinking, like, I'm on the call is about base camp. Get to base camp first. So this for me is base camp. Then it was okay, we've got this done. Where do we go next? And it looks like Lloyd and Christos are going to take on that side of it. So I see them actually working well together. I see what they're doing is more red, and this is more yellow. So I think to have both opportunities in there is fantastic. Yellows aren't going to want to do this. Reds aren't going to want to do this. Bang, they're going straight in. But I'm guessing, Cheryl, you've got a lot of yellow in you.
Yeah, and I think it probably comes down to what we've said on other calls with the ladies, of it being quite masculine, and then a put off. So yeah, that definitely just breaking that apart a bit would probably ease it in gently.
Yeah, if you've got any more thoughts about that, that's fine. Look, what I've done, I can send, unless you've got the link there, Martin, for the document, and have a look through it and see. Like, I'm happy to change it to a more feminine way. What I've done is I've taken their stuff, I've taken bits that are NG specific out, and I've added some extra bits and pieces that I felt were relevant. The hardest thing was not putting me into it, was being Noble Goldman while I was doing it, because I tend to write in the first person, and I was having to write more in the third person. So yeah, any feedback on that, I'm happy to share anything along on that. And if we want to go a completely different direction, that's fine. I just have this idea that I see so strongly in here is going to be a powerful way to bring people in and teach them the habits of success. Because once they've got them, they're going to go, well, what's next? Where do we go from here? So then we can take them into the next level, whether that's the full 90-day program or in some other way. And it'll also introduce them into masterminding, because that will be part of the program. So they won't belong to the standard group, the main group, which I have to say I don't find very effective as a group for this particular purpose. But there will be a group that specifically for these. So there's nothing about network marketing, there's nothing about making calls, there's nothing about that taking action side of it. It's just the beginning.
So what's coming up for anybody? Is anybody like, I've got no idea what the hell we're talking about, or is this anything like, well, what could I add value to, or what's coming up?
I've got an idea here, because I've been working with Lisa a little bit on that easy intro program. But what just comes to mind, because it sparked when I listened to the recording, and Martin said actually he doesn't understand the hypnotic, how does the devil say, the hypnotic
rhythm,
the hypnotic rhythm. Does everybody actually understand the hypnotic rhythm? And do you guys understand how your mind works, how your brain forms the connections? Because it's my field, and I was actually just thinking of recording a video or actually putting it in. So do you want me to briefly, in a couple of minutes, very short and sweet, explain how the physiological ways of hypnotic trance and hypnotic rhythm actually works? Would that be beneficial for you guys? Because I don't know how many understand this really down to the cellular level.
Go for it.
Okay, all right. Now, what happens is that hypnosis and hypnotic is a state of trance. And trance is, per definition, is the state where your conscious mind is relaxed and your body and subconscious mind, or your conscious mind and your body is relaxed and your subconscious mind is alert and awake. And between 90 and 95% of all you're doing is governed by the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is the seed of your images, your imagination, your feelings, your emotions, your deep-seated habits, your deep-seated beliefs about yourself, what's right and wrong. So basically everything goes from the subconscious mind. And the thing is, when you're in trance, and we are all in trance multiple times a day, and it's a good place to be. When you read a book, you're in trance. When you watch a movie, you're in trance. When you ride a bicycle, ride the car, when you're in the shower, when you zoom out on a meeting because you're not focusing, when you're daydreaming, when you tie your shoelaces, when you brush your teeth, you are in trance all the time. So you want to make this work for you. It's a natural state. And what actually happens, the deeper the trance you go, then you actually forming new neurological connections in the brain. Like if you go in a deep meditation, and meditation and hypnosis is basically the same. You're looking at an opening of consciousness or the spotlight on a certain issue. So when you have self-hypnosis, because you need to be fully involved, nobody can do this onto you unless you allow it. So when you focus on a specific issue with the visualization and the affirmation or the gratitude, and you put a feeling to it, the moment you can feel it in your body, you are in trance. You are actually forming new neurological connections in your brain. Now what happens there, these things are formed, and it's like a little footpath through a field. Now, the more you repeat walking on that footpath, you make it into a bigger road, and you make it into a 6-lane highway at the end of the day through repetition. That's the hypnotic rhythm. You're building that highway. Now, your mind cannot keep two opposing things or two things at the same time. You can't think of black and white at the same time. It's either black or it's white. You cannot multitask. Multitasking is nonsense. It's a myth. If you multitask, you do the one thing 50%. If you've got 3 things going, you do them 33%. You cannot multitask. The mind cannot hold 2 things in the mind at the same time. So when you focus on your little footpath to build this into a 6-lane highway, then what happens, you don't go on the other path, okay? You don't go on the other path, and then what happens, your brain has got a recycle button. All right. So while you're sleeping, and that's why sleep is so important. When you sleep, the body goes and it scans the neurological patterns in the brain that have been used and that haven't been used. And that what is not being used gets actually linked with a protein, and then it gets broken down. So this is when you forget things. All right. There's always ways of how to retrieve it at the end of the day, you know, but the bottom line is then your highway goes into, you know, the weeds are coming through, and then you're not using anymore, and your footpath is now the next road. And this is the power of hypnotic rhythm. And it is basically totally neutral, you know. You can use it either way, for your advantage or for your disadvantage, sabotage or success. And then there's another very interesting physical thing. Now, we all probably have been in a situation where, you know, the mind wants it, the subconscious mind wants it, you want to feel it, but it takes a while until it gets into actually the actions. So what happens from the thought process? When does it come down to crystallize, you know, as habits, as actions? And there's beautiful, beautiful things, and that's where the healthy diet comes in, for example. In each cell, on the outside of the cells, you've got glycoproteins. And those glycoproteins, they have, at the end, they've got glycans in. Okay, the glycans are on every single cell. They're covering the outside of the cell, and they're responsible for cell-to-cell communication. And it's not only from cell-to-cell communication, it's also from your mind, from what comes out through the higher frequencies of thought form. They are the first contact, basically, that gets to receive the message. Now, you need 8 of these glycans, and you can get them through food or supplements. I'm not going to go into the supplements now, but it is available, you know. But it's important that you get them in, because if you're missing one of those 8 essential glycans, your communication is scrambled. It's like having a bad internet connection. You don't get the whole message across. So this is basically how it works, from the thoughts, you know, to forming the connections. And those connections that you form in your brain, you also need the glycans and the vitamins and the minerals and all of that, you know, to break down the old habits through enough sleep and relaxation, and then keep that going, and then compounding the effect through constantly walking on your footpath until it is a beautiful 6-lane highway. So basically, in a nutshell, this is how it works. And I find it incredible motivating, especially for a beginner, when they understand that, yes, I've spent 5 minutes on working on my neurological connection. It is working. And I'll do this again today, and I'm going to strengthen it. And this is the compound effect. And this is why habits are so successful. And this is how you can form them. And when you have a little bit of a bad day and you want to fall back into the old habits, you know, then you can also motivate yourself and say, no, I'm going to let this break down. You know, I'm not pulling out the weeds that come through the tar there. You know, I'm going to water them by going somewhere else. So I thought I'll just share that with you to make this really, really understandable on all levels, consciously and subconsciously, what is actually happening in your body when you do those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, because I find it really important, especially for the males here, to understand what is happening, you know, Godzilla or not, you're not multitasking, you're just flattering your ego. It's just flattering, you know. It's impossible to multitask. You know? So yeah, so I thought that helps. And maybe if you want to, I'll put a video in there or write an article to actually understand, because a lot of people are missing these vital, simple, important understandings of what's happening. All right.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Angie. And it's clear you're passionate about it, and there's straight away something that can go into the cash flow system and then evolve into something else later on. There's definitely something that's of great value to the community within NG. And when you look at what Lisa had mentioned before, because Mark's given us the go ahead to create what we want, as in adding more value to NG, whatever we can put in there to help people on that, like Lisa had said, just on that, what we're calling building the habits of success, the base level of what you can do 5 minutes a day. And then if you enjoy it and you notice, and we all know that when people are experiencing a level of growth and they're enjoying it, they want to do more of it. They want more of it. And therefore they'll find themselves organically doing it, which then builds into hypnotic rhythm in a good way. Rather than, and what I got from that then when I was listening to you, and I've been listening to Hypnotic Rhythm quite a few times this week, whilst I've been multitasking because I've been in the gym at the same time. So I've been absorbing it coming in, but I've been going, is this just a unconscious habit as well as a conscious habit, hypnotic rhythm? So you helped me understand more of it around that, and thank you for taking the time to explain it.
I just want to add to the multitasking, and just want to make it clear. Okay, now you have different levels of understanding, and I think everyone knows that, from consciously unconscious, consciously incapable to subconsciously capable. And when you are in trance, it is a heightened state of awareness. And when you are on the treadmill, for example, or doing sports, you know, you don't have to consciously think about that. That is actually a good distraction for your conscious mind to go into trance. That's why in the hypnosis, we focus on the breathing, because you want to give your mind something to run itself to a standstill so that it doesn't wander off, and then you can focus on it. So in that regard, I wouldn't classify that as multitasking as such, because you're doing something automatically, like walking and breathing. You know, I mean, if you go, that breathing comes from the subconscious mind. So, okay, well, if you look at it, we're constantly multitasking with a gazillion metabolic actions in our cells, you know. But that's not meant as multitasking, because then what you do, you're actually learning and studying in trance, which goes into a much deeper level, because then you're actually reprogramming your subconscious mind easier than if you would just sit and taking it consciously. Okay. So that's good. I mean, I also like to listen to these things while exercising. That's a good thing, but that's not multitasking itself.
I don't like the fact that you've taken it away from me, Aunt Jay, so I'm going to remove you from this call. Nice having you on for a while.
Okay. Nice meeting you. Thank you very much. I will find myself a different team. Love you too, Martin.
There is actually evidence out there to show that listening to something while moving, the movement helps the body to absorb on a different level. So there's definitely value in that. What I wanted to say, and thank you for that, is what I sort of envisage, and I obviously see it growing, and I have to be careful because I have to keep reminding myself that this is a $60 program. It's not like my 10 grand program that I offer. It's like, how much value am I going to give you? But I do see that we could create videos that are relevant, and maybe it could be coming into the group call and doing a presentation, or whether we just create those videos that are just there for them to tap into if they want to. So because they're already gold star now, but it would be separate from cash flow, because obviously that's another thing. But I do see if people have got things like that that will supplement the habit creation, and to me habit is hypnotic rhythm, because we're doing it without thinking. Whether it's good or bad, we're doing it without thinking. So yeah, any presentations, any videos, anything that we can add value to people who are coming in, who are brand new, who have no idea what they're getting into. Like I said, it's not going to speak to everybody. If you've got a red network marketer, they're not even going to want to go there. But I just see this as a beautiful way of adding value. The more stuff we've got to help people understand what's going on and why we do what we do, when we know what we know, is awesome. Thank you, Andrew.
So with that, Lisa, I haven't got the link. So if you would drop the link into the Your Desired Success Gold Star chat group,
yep,
then anybody who wants to add information in there, because this video will be put in there, and I am conscious we've got 15 minutes left. So, but is there anything where is anybody unsure around what Lisa's asking, or is anybody want to add value in regards to helping this evolve into something new? Martina?
Yeah, it's just something that I was thinking about is, as Cheryl was saying, when you come into the site, 90 days seems a lot when you're doing it first time. Is there any way we could chunk it down to 30, 30 and 30 days? So say after they completed 30 days, say, wow, well done, you've completed your 30 days. Next 30, wow, well done.
Yeah. Lloyd is looking at doing that. So you do 30 days and then you step it up and you do more. I didn't particularly want to add more at 30 days, not at this level. I think just doing this for the 90 days is common. And I think, I think we can probably put this across in a way that, most people know that it takes time to do it. And 21 days to create a habit is BS. We definitely need longer than that. And it's about building that hypnotic rhythm. So I think, yes, we'll certainly take that on board. I think that we can find other ways around it. I think most people, especially because they're coming in to do a 90-day program. So I think that's probably, they know what they're getting into before they do it.
Because what I've noticed is a lot of people are dropping off before, and then they have to start back at day one. So I'm just thinking, if they at least got 30 days done, had a gap of 3 or 4 days, and then move on. So it's the same content. So not even step it up. It's the same content, but at least they can say, well, I've done section 1. Now I can go on to section 2.
Yeah, it's certainly worth looking at. Have you read, I think it's Atomic Habits? And I might have got the wrong book. I read so many, listen to so many. But what he says is that if you miss a day, that's okay. If you miss 2 days, you've got the start of a new habit. So I think with encouragement, and like I say, we're keeping this to a minimum. We're keeping this down as low as we can go. And, there are days when people don't. But if we can sort of put that across, okay, miss a day, that's fine. If you're struggling, let's get you back on track. The idea is that we've got the Facebook group to support people through the process. Cheryl, I'd love your input on that.
I've got an idea here quickly, because through Robin Sharma, I've learned that there's the latest Harvard study that it takes 66 days to create a habit. And he actually has his Hero Genius Legend program wrapped around 66 days. So maybe we can do the 90-day challenge, you know, for a 66-day. Because then you just open it straight away. Why 66? Number one, 66 catches attention because nobody has a 66-day program. You know, where's that number coming from? And then bam, you just slam it in. Latest Harvard study, you know, it can be found. I can look it up who did the story, who did the study. You know, it takes 66 days to form a new habit. They still sign up for $60, 90-day membership, you know. And then they have got an extra couple of days to consolidate and to finish if they miss a day or two or something like that. Maybe that would also be an idea. It's an eye-catching 66 days, and you have a science to prove it. You know, these studies are always good for newcomers who are skeptical. So maybe that's also an idea.
Just when you were saying about the support groups, Lisa, would we be looking to set up a kind of a different group for that side of things?
Yeah,
then? Yeah.
I see. I'm sort of still playing around with it at the moment, but I see a central Facebook group specifically for that. Because if you go into the one that is there, it's actually not specific for the program, although it gives the impression that it is. So it would be creating a group for that, but also encouraging team members to either create their own groups or to participate and be this. I don't see this as a one-man show. I'm not going to go in and do the lives every week. You know, it's that sort of thing. But yeah, look, I see that there's a huge opportunity, and I think the more we nurture them at this stage, the stronger we're going to be. And I know Martin and anybody who's got any yellow in them, it's about building those solid foundations. So I really, and I'm thinking, Ricky, of your Frosty's man on the other call. But you know, and it's not about throwing time and energy after these people, but there's definitely, when people are brand new, there is an element, we do need more support. You know, it's like kids when they're learning to walk. You know, they need something to hold on to. Once they're up and going, bang, they're gone. So for me, I see if I put the time and energy into this level, NG will take care of the rest of it. You know, they've got everything else there that they need. So for me,
plus
this
understanding that they're also in as a gold star. So they're already in your Noble Goldman business and they're already a gold star, which automatically renews unless they consciously go there and cancel it. So it's that in itself is a big bonus. I know that I ran a 90-day impact program where on average, the first 7 days were a video each day, and it's a completely different program based on what we're saying. But then after the first week, it went to around, on average, around about every 5th day, there was a video. And what we did was we did a weekly call, which was a check-in. And that's what it was. And I asked I gave him a booklet and a series of questions for each topic. And we just shared around what we got from that topic based on what people had written in the book. And the feedback I got from it was I did it, I gave it away for free. I did it as a test to see what it was like. And I know a few of you were in that program. Well, one of the things that came back was my intention was to run it without the weekly check-in call. So I could just put it out there and it be an automatic program. And the feedback I got was the check-in call was the most powerful part of the whole process. So when we look at it and we go, well, if that in itself then becomes the mastermind, because you can talk on over those 30 days, you can actually talk on a specific topic that's relevant to what they're doing. And like Antje, where you just stepped in before and shared your incredible wisdom around hypnotic rhythm, it can be something like that where somebody in the community member actually comes in and speaks specifically on that, and then people share their experience during that week. so that they're constantly evolving and growing, because we know that it's not only what we experience in that moment, but it's what other people share on the mastermind that helps us learn and evolve even more. So I think we'd definitely be looking at, from my side, if we're going to be implementing it, then bringing that element to the program, because therefore it's not that much nurturing from that angle. It's taken care of on a call, and different people interacting and bringing their value, which will, and as we've discussed, there's different. I mean, I'm pretty confident we all know Lisa's talking about the colors, the energies of different people, their attributes, and so on. Therefore, each of us speaking is bringing a different color in at all different times. And based on the way the conversation's going, we all know that we can adjust at any given moment as well, because we've all got some part of each color, but dominant in others. So, or at least one. So it's, I think personally, it's a great way, especially the fact that they're already a gold star, and that's the key. And I mentioned this this morning on the call. It's what we're doing once people are in Noble Goldman. Like, it's one thing to get people in, but keeping them's the key. What's your retention rate? And that's where, when we've worked with the online programs, most online systems have a retention rate of 3 months. There's your $60 membership right there. That's it, gone. So what are we doing to keep them supported? So those people, like, I love this community. I come here because of the connections, the relationships, the fact that these people, I'd never even met them, but these people hold space for me to share and be me. And this is what I need to help me keep moving forward. That's where I see the value of helping us continually add more gold stars, which then naturally, once they get in that state, what do? They bring in other people who then are paid forward to each of us each time as well, which helps us, and we're being rewarded. So what may seem in the beginning like a lot of work, it's actually what comes after it from the universe of the universe now giving for us to receive, is my view on it.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. I certainly see this as an introduction to masterminding, because if you've never done masterminding, the thought of joining a mastermind group is a bit scary, you know. Like masterminding for me, I always thought of it, and I teach this, but to me it was still very much a business thing, business exec thing. So to come in and do this, but it's only because I've come in through you, Martin, and I know, like, and trust you. So I just see that this is a beautiful way of introducing them to the mastermind concept. And yeah, look, I'm open to all ideas, and I see it, like everything with NG, I see it evolving. Like, I see this is what I'm putting out. I see that there's a need to do that, because I haven't done the 90-day thing for that same reason. I'm not sure where I want to go with NG or how I want to get there. So to have to do all this stuff is like, and I don't feel confident enough at the moment. I'm getting there, but when I started doing this, I didn't feel confident enough to tell people, bring them in, because I didn't know what it was about, and I couldn't quantify what was going on. Now, obviously, with the new website and everything, that's helped. But this, for me, and I'll tell you, I did it for me, for everybody, because this was what I see I need. I've got a 90-day program. I can market the heck out of that. Mm-hmm. And then once I've got them in, it's easy. I can work with them to do that. So that was my thinking. It was like, this is what I want to do with my clients. I want to bring them in to do that. And then it was like, okay, how can we make this work in NG? So.
And I feel that's why it's important on the front end, because that's where people are connecting, is let them see the whole of Noble Goldman through your eyes. Because to each of us, it has a different element, it has a different level of value. So let them on the outside see what it is, and let them come in for that, because that's what they're interested in, that's where the intrigue is, and that's where they're aligned, because they want to know more. Therefore, they can experience that, but we know there's continued value. And even with what you said there, Lisa, I know there's people who are resisting to a mastermind. The second I mention it, I watch my posts. Like, I posted a picture of me out at the farm making veggie bloody things, and I didn't even look at that because I was offline. And I came back and it had like, I think it was 100 likes or something. I hadn't even commented to get any level of traction. But the moment I mentioned about a mastermind, tumbleweed, crickets. And yet there's more value for every single person connected with me to be on the mastermind than there is on me being in the bloody garden.
Mm-hmm. But it's the perception of a mastermind, because previously it's always been a big business thing. And if you're not in business or whatever, I didn't feel I had anything to offer in a mastermind, which is crazy, but that's what we do. So for me to find a way that brings it in and shows that, hey, it's not this scary thing. It's just one or more people, two or more people getting together and talking about something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, we've come to the hour mark. Is there anything anybody wants to just touch on before we run off? Because I know a few of you want to jump on Leslie's call.
All right. I did have a question, Martin. I'm getting my head tied up now in the mastermind groups. I'm looking at setting my own. I want to set up one with based on Bob's book, You Were Born Rich, because I've got a license to do that. But then I'm getting confused. So are the mastermind groups open to anyone or only to people who are in NG?
So when you say the mastermind groups, you mean the calls?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone can create their own call, and it can be facilitated there. So Gold Star members can put the call on the list of public or private calls. But anyone can go and create their own mastermind.
Yeah. But what I'm looking at is I see masterminding as being a way to bring people introduce them to NG. And yet when I went into, because Mark showed me how to put a mastermind into the back office, it's like, well, that's clearly for people who are already in NG, and I'm not sure that they're the people that I want to bring into the mastermind. I'm happy to put it on there, but my goal is to use the mastermind as a feeder to bring people, as a funnel to bring people in, and I'm not going to do that if they're only for there. So I just got a bit, now I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be mastermind groups only for NG or whether we bring them in and they don't have to be NG members.
It's the mastermind that for instance, this Gold Star mastermind, I can plug it in there and any Gold Stars can come in and be a part of it to add their value. I can plug in the public ones, anyone can jump on to share their value. The angle comes from when there's too many people coming on, we may have a problem.
Yeah.
And therefore the person who's facilitating that is to take ownership of that. And then maybe at the start of the call say, right, I know there's already people in Noble Goldman. Fantastic. Out of respect, only the free members are going to be sharing their name, where they're calling in from, whatever it may be. But let's have the conversation flow. So the person facilitating the mastermind is in control of that. That's where she or he needs to take that level of ownership.
Well, I am playing with the idea, because it's a set program, if you like, for this particular one. So I am looking at, maybe limiting the numbers.
Yeah. So the way that you would do that is probably have them register via Zoom and say there's only a certain amount of people. You can then see who's registered, and you would have it set on admit only, so you can see the name come up and let them know, hey, it's admit only. So your name that is on Zoom needs to be the same as what you register, so I can accept you in.
Yeah.
And that way you'll control it and have it however you like. And then you can put in whatever kind of intro or sales thing to Noble Goldman at the end of that, if you wish to. That's
awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for your time and your shares. And I know that's going to help Lisa in particular with where she wants to go and help us all, because we're all going to leverage this and still continue to mastermind it. But I really appreciate you taking the time to be on as well. I'll drop this once they've uploaded it. I'll drop it into the group. I've also created a new intro to Noble Goldman that I did at the end of the free call. So I'll trim that and drop that in for you to watch if you wish to, which just is, I feel it's explaining Noble Goldman a lot simpler. And then, any feedback, I'm more than happy to hear that. But I look forward to, if I don't connect with you before, connecting with you on next week's call. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks, everyone.